Yesterday was the start of Baylor's spring football camp, and today we're going to dive a little bit deeper and talk about one of the key position movers heading into the spring, which is Bryson Jackson, the former Will linebacker prospect in Dave Aranda's defense, and he played Sam linebacker in Matt Rule and Phil Snow's defense. He's making the move to the star position. Obviously, in Baylor's defense, that's become famous because that was the position Jalen Petrie played. Last year, Al Walcott played that position as well. And now Bryson Jackson, who decided to return to Baylor for another season, used an extra year to come back and try to not only just enhance his draft stock, but I think end on a more positive note during his career at Baylor. So we're going to listen to a few quotes from him. I'm going to talk about him a little bit. And we're going to get to know and get a little bit of a read on how Bryson Jackson is going to do at this new position, the star spot. So let's listen up to some of the things they had to say about that role.
Well, I'm currently playing star right now, so that's a new position. It's a lot like Sam when I first came in years back, but something I'm used to. And just like I said, I've always wanted to kind of be in a position where I can help the team the most. And so just being there, I'm grateful for Coach Aranda and them letting me play that position, and Coach Powell is allowing me to go out there and compete at it. So we're going to see how it goes.
What's the biggest change at that position that you're having to learn?
Just coverage adjustments, and communicating with the safeties and the corners, and letting the linebackers know what's happening. So usually when I was playing before, I was up front and communicating with the D linemen and the linebackers behind me, and a lot of it was pass rushing and stuff like that. So now I get to add a different twist to it and come from a coverage standpoint.
So it's really fascinating because this is a guy who, when we've watched him play over the past few years, his role's been all about pass rush. It's just been about getting after the quarterback, finding a way to wreak havoc in the backfield, a lot of communication with the defensive line. That's been his focus, right? It's been all about that. And obviously having to stop the run a little bit, but more so just about creating havoc in the backfield. Can you be disruptive? Can you get sacks? So now moving to the star position, he mentioned coverage is going to be the biggest key, and I think that's the biggest question mark for him. We know he's going to be able to blitz at a very high level. We think he's going to be able to make tackles in the open field and against the run at a pretty high level as well. But is he going to be able to hold up in coverage? And does he move well enough to hold up in coverage, especially if Baylor's going to run more man principles with Matthew Pallage as the defensive coordinator? And I think that's an area that he has a question about as well. Like, that's something that he knows he needs to work on. That's an aspect of his game that he knows he hasn't really used a lot. And so now he's going to have to really put that on display this spring if he's going to want to end up actually winning the starting spot at the star position. So very excited about it. I think getting a leader on the field is obviously a great thing. And finding a guy like Bryson Jackson, who we know can do certain things at a very high level, if you can really develop him, I think he could turn into a very good player at the star position and definitely bring a new level of size and physicality to that position as well, which would be very, very intriguing. So last year, as we know, this team struggled. There was a lot of adversity that they faced and a lot of things that when challenges hit them, they were unable to respond. Dave Aranda mentioned, locker room issues, mentioned just the culture of the program had been tested in a way that it I guess hadn't been tested the year before. And so now this year it's kind of getting back to this mindset, and that mindset is pound the rock. And that's something that this team is clearly trying to live by every single day as they try to get better heading into the 2023 season. Bryson talked a little bit about that, so let's go ahead and listen to what he had to say on that.
It's just about pounding the rock, man. So every day, you gotta come in and you gotta be focused, and you gotta take all the distractions out and focus on getting better and focus on being there for each other. And I think that's something that we definitely can improve on as a team, and I think that we definitely have improved on it since then. And that's been the whole interaction with this offseason, is just getting better as a unit and redefining our culture, and defining and redefining about what pound the rock means, what shared commitment means, what fighting with adversity and having each other's back means. So that's important, and we got the mature guys in the room to do it.
So pound the rock. He mentions, attacking everything from the classroom to being better people off the field to playing together, playing hard. It's an all-encompassing term, a term that really it's the lifeblood of this program. It's something that Dave Aranda wants to see built every single day. He wants every single player to want to build it every single day, every coach. Everybody just needs to be in line with this Pound the Rock motto. And I think one of the things that Bryson mentioned was they're not only trying to define their culture, but they're also trying to redefine their culture. And that's been a key this offseason throughout the spring workouts, whether it's those early practices or early lifts or the conditioning in the afternoon, leading into the actual, getting the ball out on the field in the spring. This is something that's going to be really important to this group, just making sure every day they come in focused. They're not thinking about distractions. They're focused on everyone getting better, not just themselves. When they leave the football field, it's about being better people off the field, being great at academics, really just focusing and attacking life. That's what Pound the Rock means. And this is something this program really needs. And it's something that I think we saw last year. Everyone saw it. There were just cracks in the armor, and they were unable to respond to those. So now when adversity hits, will this group be more prepared to attack those challenges and persevere and get through them? That's what I think Pound the Rock means. And that's something that really important to this group, really important obviously to Bryson Jackson, and something that's going to be really fascinating to pay attention to as we move forward into spring football. But thanks for listening today. This has been Grayson Greenhafer on Sic'Em365.com.